What? No. I don't know what it's recording. Let's share my screen. See if it's recording that or not. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. You guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
My little green box is not there, so I'm not sure what it's recording. All right. I'm going to open the poll and I would like you to respond with whether or not you have mold growing yet. Launch. All right, so please respond in the poll if you have mold growing yet.
What should I do if my thing got ruined?
Your thing got ruined. What do you mean? Tell me more about this.
It was thrown away.
Oh, that happened to somebody else. Maybe start over
Okay.
and get it really wet. Get it a little bit more wet, like, because I feel like the wetness will have it grow faster. Emma.
So I have a question. So I have my experiment set up at my dad's house or at my mom's house half the week. So like, should I just take the pictures?
That's fine. Just do it when you're there. That's fine.
Okay.
Sergio, what's your question?
So it's not a lot of mold, but there's like tiny white spores that are visible.
Okay.
So does that count?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Looks like we've got a little bit of mold happening. I would suspect you guys, I'm going to end polling and share it with you. We've got one person that has mold and 24 of us don't. I set up an experiment yesterday using hot dog buns. So I was just, I don't know, I had some laying around my house. I'm like, oh, I'm going to take these to school and set up my own experiment. So I would bet on Monday, we should probably see something. Again, if you kind of got it a little bit wet, I think that damp water atmosphere or environment helps to facilitate the growth of the mold. So get going on that. I'm going to lower your hand and then let's look at our agenda for today. Today we've got 3 things on tap. We are going to go over yesterday's work. Today's topic is fungi or fungi, depending on how you want to pronounce it. And then we will preview both Friday and Monday. So we're going to start actually, and I'm going to stop recording this because this won't be super exciting. I'm not sure what it's recording, if it's recording my screen or not. I hope so. So then the matching was here. So again, these were a lot of the words that we saw in the Quizlet game. So we've got a protozoan, which is letter B, an animal-like protist, a pseudopod, pseudo means fake, pod is foot, and that is a temporary bulge of a cell membrane that fills with cytoplasm. A spore is C, a tiny cell that's able to grow into an organism. A contractile vacuole is H, a structure that collects excess water and expels it from a cell. Cilia is F, those hair-like projections that are used to move, capture food, and sense the environment. Algae is G, plant-like protists. Symbiosis is I, a close relationship between 2 species where at least one of them benefits. Mutualism is A type of symbiosis that benefits both species. And pigment is D, a chemical that produces color. Do I need to leave this up here at all, or are we good?
Can you leave it up there for a second?
I will. Are we good now, guys?
Yeah.
All right. So for today, our topic is another kingdom, and that kingdom is the kingdom of fungi or fungus. That's the singular for it. So our goal is to name and describe characteristics of this kingdom, and we're going to start like we often do with a brain pop. This is a pretty good one. It's about 5 minutes long if I remember from last hour. Wonder if it doesn't like it because I'm recording.
Monsieur, dinner is served. Grilled portobello mushrooms smothered in melted blue cheese and a light duck jus. Dear Tim and Moby. Dear Tim and Moby, why are funguses so gross? Sincerely, Princess. Not every fungus is gross. Ask Moby, he's eating some right now. Fungi are a diverse group of organisms that includes molds, microscopic yeasts, and mushrooms. They can be found in just about every environment on Earth, from forests to deserts and even beneath the ocean. Scientists believe there are more than 1 million species of fungi, and so far we've only identified a fraction of them. Well, they're kind of hard to categorize. Like plants, fungi grow in one place and can't move around on their own. But like animals, they're heterotrophs, which means they get nutrients by consuming other organisms. And like both plants and animals, fungi are eukaryotic, meaning each of their cells has a nucleus. Since they don't fit neatly into either the plant or animal kingdom, scientists created a separate category just for them, the fungi kingdom. There's a lot of diversity within that kingdom, from their physical features to the ways they reproduce. Yeah, most fungi share a few common traits. Zoom in on that mushroom. The cells of fungi are arranged into long, thread-like structures called hyphae. The cell walls are mostly made of chitin, a tough material that's also found in insect exoskeletons. Hyphae grow at the tips, forming an interconnected network called a mycelium, which makes up the main body of many fungi. No, unlike plants, fungi can't produce energy through photosynthesis. Instead, they grow directly on food sources like soil, wood, bread, even dead flesh. Once inside the food, hyphae secrete enzymes, chemicals that break down organic matter into nutrients they can absorb. The hyphae's thread-like shape gives them a large surface area to absorb as many nutrients as possible. Well, the bulk of a fungus usually grows out of sight, underground, or inside whatever it's growing on. In mushrooms, the only part we do see is the fruiting body. It's made of special hyphae that don't grow like the rest of the mycelium. Its only job is to produce spores, special cells used for reproduction. In some fungi, the spores reproduce sexually. They have to join with another fungus's spores to produce offspring. In others, they're asexual. They can reproduce on their own. Many species can produce both kinds of spores, and yeasts usually don't produce spores at all. Instead, they reproduce through an asexual process called budding, where a new organism grows from a parent's body and eventually splits off. By the way, bakers rely on yeast to make bread. You can't get away from fungi so easily, my friend. They affect our everyday lives in so many ways, bad and good. We've all heard about how some mushrooms produce deadly poisons, and how some fungi can cause skin infections like ringworm and athlete's foot. On top of that, fungi cause 80% of plant diseases. Still, life as we know it depends on fungi. They act as decomposers, breaking down dead stuff and recycling nutrients through the food chain. Then there are fungi that have symbiotic relationships or partnerships with other organisms. Many plants can't survive without special fungi that grow on their roots and help them absorb nutrients from the soil. And lichens, which are a combo of fungi and green algae, break down rocks into soil where plants can grow. We humans benefit from fungi even more directly. Most antibiotics, medicines that fight bacterial infections, are derived from fungi. And last but not least, we rely on fungi for food. Bon appetit.
So last hour, this led to a big discussion about if you were team mushroom or not, if you're a fan of mushrooms. I am.
Monsieur Dinel is
I
Mushrooms
don't want
are
to hear
so
that
good.
again. I like mushrooms. All right, so we're going to go into breakout rooms today, and I've got 2 comments about breakout rooms. One, in overall, 7th grade does a much better job of actually working and talking to one another compared to 8th grade in their breakout rooms. So yay, 7th grade. Last hour, there was one room that was outstanding. They were talking, someone was sharing their screen, and all 4 of the kids in the room had their cameras on. So it felt like the most like school, like that I'd seen in a really long time. So those are the things that I like to see when I go in a breakout room. 2 for sure, talking and sharing a screen, and the camera is just really an added bonus because then you can see each other and it feels a little bit more personal. So what you're going to do for the next 17 minutes is you're going to read about fungi, and there's a nice little summary here with some really good pictures. So here it's opening up. So here what the other groups did is kind of switch off like you would like in school, and maybe each person read a paragraph and kind of rotate. So you're looking at what is fungi, what are characteristics. I really liked this picture here where it shows a piece of bread and then like what we're doing and the mold that's growing on it and what's happening kind of underneath it. The structure and function of fungi, different types, and then where are they in the environment, and how do they affect humans. So read through that, and then there are only 2 questions for you to answer, and you can be thinking about these as you read through. You should identify 1 way that fungi and plants are alike and 2 ways that they're different. So that's question 1. And then question 2, list 3 ways fungi are important to the environment and 3 ways they're important to humans. So I will stop sharing. All right, let me share my screen again. Is it sharing? No, I think it is. All right, so we read through this information and then we just had 2 little questions to answer. So the first one says to identify 1 way that fungi and plants are alike and 2 ways that they're different. Some ways that they're the same or alike, I said they're multicellular, they have a true nucleus, they have cell walls that grow in soil, and they're different and they don't have specialized tissues and organs like plants do. They don't have chlorophyll, they cannot make their own food. Then for the next one, it said list 3 ways fungi are important to the environment and 3 ways they're important to humans. And I said for the environment, they break down organic matter that can cause disease. Important, I felt like didn't always just mean positive. They can form soil and they could be used to monitor pollution. And for humans, they can help produce foods, they can help spoil food, and they help in the production of antibiotics. I'll leave this up here for a second if anyone needs to edit what they went through. I will say I went into the groups and everyone was talking or sharing their screen, so that was really good. You guys did a really nice job with your breakout rooms today. All right, I'm going to move on to tomorrow. Maybe if I'm on the right place. Tomorrow, I've got 3 things to kind of help you practice this information. The first is watching the video, and I just watched it last hour again while you guys were in breakout rooms, and it goes through a forest. And so there's some really cool visuals of different fungi that you would see in a forest. Then you get to do some coloring as we're looking at the parts of a mushroom. We have a mushroom cap. You've got the spores that are released from a mushroom. These things underneath the cap are called gills. It sits on a stalk, and then those hyphae that grow kind of underground. Then you want to make sure all of your homework assignments are complete because we have a quiz coming up. You should have quiz 1 done. And remember, all of this work should be done by noon tomorrow because that's the time I kind of cut things off and start sending grades to Skyward to get your reports out for the week. On Monday, you don't want to listen to it now. On Monday, you'll take quiz 2. So quiz 1 looked at classification and viruses. This quiz will look at bacteria and protists and fungi. So complete that quiz on Monday. And then if you're looking for something to do or want to deepen your understanding, remember there's this extension list out there. with a lot of different things. There's websites and apps and gizmos. There's videos you could watch, books and articles you could read, even podcasts. So if you're liking this material and really want to expand what we've been working on, this is a good place to check some things out. So our to-do list looks like this. Today we've got a little practice, assignment number 31. Tomorrow you've got the video, the coloring to do. Monday we're looking at quiz number 2. And then don't forget about your bread mold. You should be looking at it, taking some pictures and making observations daily. And that concludes our lesson for today. You're free to stay for a little bit and work on assignment number 31, or I will see you tomorrow morning at the gathering.
Bye. Have a great weekend.
Thank
Yep,
you.
you
Have a
too.
great
Thank
weekend.
you.